Hi, I'm Jupiter. Welcome to my channel. I just got a new tarot deck, and the energy of this deck is so pristine and intense, and the art is so beautiful that I wanted to just take a moment to admire the art and the work that was done on this deck with my viewers. So the name of this deck is the Erethereal Shadow Tarot. And if you look at the bottom, the tag for the maker's Instagram is down here. I will tag them in the description. On the back we have, it's written, "Where the shadows run free." So this is a shadow work tarot deck, and it was made to do shadow work with. Now I did intentionally buy a damaged box, and you can see there's a bit of a bend here and up here, and it is a little crease at the corner. It's a little worse on the bottom in here. And the book did get a little bend in it, but the deck actually came out perfectly, which that was the only thing that mattered to me. The cards are in good condition, and the book and the box being damaged are not an issue at all. So this book is like any other book you would get. It doesn't have any pictures, but it has really good readings for each of the cards, really good snippets for each of the cards. And it's a really good guide if you're not familiar with the tarot. The deck itself has a gold foil edge. And something that I really liked, and I pulled them out purposefully, is that all of the knights are dragons. So you have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. He's got like an exoskeleton and smoke just pouring out of him. And then the Knight of Wands is breathing fire, of course. And then my personal favorite, Knight of Cups. So my very favorite card of any deck is Death. As you can see, this Death, of course, is a skeleton. And they actually have a really cool little pendant necklace. I love that. Then we have the Sun, which is actually an eclipse. I really, really love that they made this card about the eclipse, because I've always loved eclipses. Just the pure raw energy of the sun pouring out from behind this darkness of the moon always gets me. I always have to be outside during eclipses. It's not an option for me. So for the sun to be that eclipse energy, I love it so much. Then we have the moon. We have a traveler actually going up from this. It looks like a barren city with roots overtaking it, and they're traveling up to this being by the moon or in the moon. And then we have the mage and the high priestess. What I really love about these two is that they offset each other. To me, the magician and the high priestess are deeply connected. They're the epitome of the feminine and male energies. And for the magician or the mage in this deck to be in the center of his power, but then the high priestess is right up there coming out of this smoke, almost as if she's revealing herself. It's very opposite and very similar at the same time. And of course I had to put the Empress up top just so we could admire her. I love how, although she's wearing this smaller crown, she has another crown up here, and it's almost like there's another being behind her. It's almost like her intuition is behind her and she's listening. I really love that. And then the Emperor, of course. And again, the Emperor is up in his power, and you see that he has someone in the foreground and then someone behind him. So he's almost like he's got the power behind the throne. But just like with the mage and the high priestess, you have the Empress in the foreground, and then you immediately are drawn to this figure of the Emperor back here, and you don't initially notice that this isn't a stand that he's on. It's actually, this is a being in the foreground. You have to kind of take a moment to realize, or at least I do. And then I wanted to pull a few cards without any beings on them. I just love the atmosphere of the cards that don't have any beings in them. The Six of Wands looks like a ritual, actually. The energy of this card is of that ritual of calling in the corners, because we have the fire and the water, and then we have the earth and the air. So those four to me kind of represent that drawing together of the elements. Even though there are 6 wands, these 4 really stand out to me. And with the 8 of Pentacles, we have cities in each of these globes. I don't know if you can see that, but each globe is its own unique habitat. The thing I find interesting about the tower in this deck is that it's not fallen. It looks as though the base of this tower is exploding, but the top is still up here, kind of just pointing up into infinity. I don't know if that shows up for you, but there's kind of little pieces coming up here into the sky. So it really feels as though it's like shooting a beam of light off into the universe as everything around it just kind of explodes. And I wanted to put strength and the 6 of Swords together too, because they're both ships. But with strength, you have this ship that's gliding along, and it's glamorous and strong within these powerful waves, and they're just kind of beating over it, but it isn't going down. Like, you can see that it is not going to fail. But in the Six of Swords, this ship looks like it's been through a fire. And I thought that energy of this burnt out ship gliding along on this still water was such an opposite energy to Strength that I just wanted to show them together to kind of offset that art and really appreciate it. And of course I had to bring out my very favorite cards of any deck next to Death, the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Cups. I just love the watery energy of the Cups cards in this deck. It feels like the whole scene is staged underwater. And I love the prism of water just pouring into this cup, or out of it, whichever you prefer. I'm not gonna go through any of the other cards. I do plan on doing a reading with this deck soon, and I probably will do a lot of readings actually with this deck just because of how much I love it. I do want to say the energy feels very crystalline. It feels very otherworldly, and as if you're getting a peek into an alien dimension when you're working with it. But I think I'll leave this here for now, and then I will definitely do several readings with this deck. So if you want to see more cards at a later date, definitely let me know. But I'm going to do as many readings as I can actually with this deck, even if I only use a couple cards from it. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time.